Welcome back to CrimeDoor TV. I'm Sydney Schofield. A mother is desperate for answers 6 years after her daughter vanished from Richmond, Virginia. Keeshae Jacobs was 21 years old the last time anyone saw her back in September of 2016. She went out for the night and never made it home. No one has heard from her since. We are lucky today to be joined by Keeshae's mother, Toni Jacobs. And Toni, I want to start by talking about Keeshae. What is she like? What are some of your favorite things about her?
Keeshae, oh God, is quiet. She's very, I don't know. She is standoff. I guess you would say she's quiet until she really gets to know you. Um, but she's very loyal. My favorite thing about Keeshae is Keeshae used to love to give hugs, and people would tell me Keeshae give the best hugs ever. And sometimes it'd be a little bit too much. You'd be like, Mama, I want a hug. I'd be like, can I put this on layaway and get this a little later? Because you really have hugged me out for the day. But that was, I miss that. And playing with her fat fingers. That's what I miss the most.
Toni, if Keeshae is watching right now, what would you say to her?
That I love her very, very much. Not a day goes by that I don't miss her, think about her, pray for her. And that I refuse to give up. This is my journey in my life until she walks through these doors and back into my arms. And don't ever think that I don't love you, and I love you with all my heart. And I'm going to keep fighting and keep looking till I can't anymore.
All these years later, continuing to fight for justice, it cannot be easy, especially as we know not all missing persons cases are handled the same. Do you wish your daughter's case was handled differently?
I wish they would have took it serious. I believe that when I first reported her missing, they didn't take her serious. I believe if they would have jumped on it right away, I would have had closure right now. Keeshae could have possibly been home. But because they waited like a week later to even follow up on Keeshae's case, yeah, so it was very disappointing. And it felt like that I had to basically do everything on my own. So I had to do the investigation and try to get the information on my own because they wasn't moving fast enough for me.
Now, years later, when we saw so much attention go toward Gabby Petito's case, what was that like to watch as you continued your own fight for your own daughter's case?
My first reaction, I was that mother, and I knew what that mother was going through at that time. And I was just trying to make sure everybody knew about it and got it out there. Then later, regardless of my sympathy for the family, I'll still be like, oh my God, I wish they would have did this for Keeshae.
What can the public do to help search for Keeshae?
My I only want people to pay attention. Your first instinct, if something don't look right, it's probably not right. Don't be scared to get involved. And because that's what I see, a lot of people like don't want to be involved, don't want to say anything. Um, and they think it can't happen to them when I know it can happen to you, just like it happened to me. I was one of those parents that always told Keeshae to keep her phone charged. Um, stay vigilant, watch your surroundings. Don't go nowhere by yourself. It's people out there preying on young girls. And it happened to me, even though as a parent, I was like hard on Keeshae about these things. But I just want people to pay attention. She could be out there. She could just be looking, standing right beside you, and you never know when people don't pay attention. Or they was like, I think that's her. I don't care if you think it's her. Call the police, because it could be Keeshae. So I just want people to pay attention. Don't be scared to get involved because if it was your family member, you would want that help. You would want somebody to help you.
Toni, is there anything we haven't talked about that you want to make sure people know, either about your daughter or her case?
God, is so much. Um, I just want people to know Keeshae was not a runaway. We did not have problems at home, and that's people's first thing they want to say. Well, she ran away with a man, or she was running away because she had issues at home. La la la. No, it was none of that. Me and Keeshae was very close. Even when we argued, this little girl would call me and be like, "Well, just in case you want to know, I'm at so and so house." Oh, okay, okay. Just be careful. I love you. You know, we were a loving, close family, and we still are a loving, close family. And I miss my daughter terribly. And I believe Keeshae is alive and she's still out there. And until I find out otherwise, I'm going to keep fighting and keep looking. So, and I just hope other people do the same thing.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Toni. We will keep sharing your daughter's story, and we'll keep you and your family in our thoughts.
Thank you.